everyone, this is Liz. I'm a millennial living a slow lifestyle in the countryside. While I'm renovating my own timber frame cottage, I'm moving from place to place in my home region of Bavaria, Germany. For the past couple weeks, I lived in a charming little witch cottage. But now it's time to move on. Today, we will be moving into a beautiful converted barn in the countryside. And while I show you around, I would like to chat with you about feeling at home. I enjoy living a slow, peaceful, stable lifestyle. And yet, I keep moving from place to place. How does that even go together? Can we even cultivate that cozy, relaxed feeling of home when our surroundings change? Maybe you are familiar with feeling lost or lonely in a new place or a new situation. Or maybe you even feel like a stranger in a place that is actually supposed to be your home. I strongly believe that the concept of home goes beyond the physicality of walls and roofs. I believe that home is a feeling and a state of being rather than a place, and that we can create this feeling of home anywhere by making sure we feel at home within ourselves. But how do we do that? Feeling at home very often comes down to using copy and paste. Let me explain. In an ideal world, we would all live in a space that is entirely our own. A place that looks exactly the way we want it, with photographs of our loved ones, the furniture arranged the way we like it. But sometimes that's just not how it is. I constantly live in places that were furnished by someone else to suit their idea of home, not mine. And yet, I feel at home no matter where I am, because I apply copy-paste. When I move into a new space, I unpack my things and always put everything in the same place, even if that place is in a different house than before. My backpack will always be next to the door. My book will always be on the bedside table, no matter which house or even country I'm in. I copy-paste the concept of my home into every place I move to. It's surprising how much this detaches my feeling of being home from the actual physical space I'm in. And that ties right into rituals and routines. They are the copy-paste of our daily habits and hold a lot of power when it comes to making us feel at home. Always doing something the same way or at the same time provides a comforting sense of familiarity. It might be a sunset walk, a weekly visit to the local market, or simply brewing a cup of tea and reading a book before bedtime. These rituals become anchors, grounding us in the midst of unfamiliarity. This doesn't only apply to new places, it applies to changes and new chapters in our lives as well. I have lived in so many different places throughout the past years, and yet some things always stay the same, giving me the comfort and stability of home. One of my favorite rituals is my after-work walk. It's not only healthy to get some fresh air and exercise, but it also helps greatly with getting familiar with the new environment. Whenever I arrive in a new place, I like to explore the area on a long walk with no destination in mind. I like to take in my surroundings and find spots that make me feel good and make me want to return. And let me tell you, I will always find a few spots I feel drawn to. It can be the little murmuring stream, the bench by the pond, or the top of a hill. Sometimes I can't even explain what it is exactly that draws me there, but that isn't important. These spots will quickly form the route for my daily walks and will feel so familiar after only a few days. Even if you have been living in the same place for years, I encourage you to wander and look at your surroundings with a fresh eye. Comfort spaces don't have to be inside our own house. They can be anywhere we feel safe and at peace. This feeling often has little to do with the actual place we live in, but rather with the type of environment we need to feel fully ourselves. Building relationships is a foundational aspect of feeling at home as well. This might involve attending local events, joining clubs or courses, or simply striking up conversations with neighbors. Or maybe you enjoy spending time alone and don't feel like building a large circle of friends, and that's perfectly okay as well. But even for an introvert like me, it felt good to notice that after a few days in a new place, the lady at the local bakery would recognize me and even remember what I like to buy. A little chat with someone who's seen us around can make us feel as if we've always lived there. It's also easier than ever before to stay in touch with our loved ones, and we should take full advantage of that. My family and friends and I have made it a habit to stay in a loose, ongoing conversation throughout the day, sharing images, observations, landscapes, sounds with each other. We experience things together even if we are not in the same place. Just like every person, every place has a story. By diving into its history, traditions, and cultural nuances, we can develop a deeper appreciation and connection. If we don't feel a connection with the place we are in, it might be because we didn't take the time to understand it and truly get involved. Approaching a new environment with an open heart and curiosity can make a world of difference. Instead of comparing it to a previous home or a place we would rather be in, we can try to embrace its unique qualities. Every place has its own charm, hidden gems, and quirks. I love to learn about a new place and discover why people like to live there. The place doesn't have to be special at all. Sometimes I just sit in a village pub, listening to the locals, picking up half a story here and there among the indistinct chatter. You might be surprised how quickly we can start sympathizing with strangers after hearing the outrageous story that happened to them at the village fair last week. And sometimes, feeling at home is simply a matter of time. There are places or life phases we settle into easily, and others that need a bit of adapting. There are days when we feel out of place, and days on which everything falls into place. It's important to be patient with ourselves and to give ourselves the time we need to develop the feeling of home. In the end, we feel at home if we manage to give ourselves a home. This means knowing ourselves and the way we truly want to spend our lives, being honest with ourselves about what we want and need in order to feel happy and fulfilled, having confidence and trust in ourselves that we will be fine no matter where we are. If we feel comfortable being ourselves, with all our hopes, dreams, goals, and fears, our comfort space will be within us, and we can take it wherever we go. I would like to hear from you. Where do you feel at home and why?